Once upon a time, in the deep night, in a dark, dark valley called my apartment, I was on Newgrounds searching the web, and a particular game caught my fancy. Ritz the Rat. Now, I'm not much of a cheeser myself, but tonight was different. The full moon was out and the cheese was showing. I simply couldn't contain myself. I clicked the link and the game popped up. The loading screen was a bit off. Hack's Flixel was replaced with red coloring and blood splatter that said, "You are dead." And that wasn't the thing that surprised me, because usually that thing doesn't really happen on Newgrounds, but it would make sense because it's Halloween. The thing that scared me actually was the actual title screen. You see, usually Ritz the Rat would come on screen and greet me with his warm rat nose. However, something was different. I looked at his rat face and I saw blood. But then I realized the blood wasn't from the rat. It was from me. I was on my period. I was so afraid that I started pee-peeing and poo-pooing everywhere. I made a big mess. But something in my heart told me I had to go on. I reluctantly clicked the start button and the game began. Everything was normal. Everything was in place, all the assets were normal, and the images looked fine. But I grabbed a piece of cheese, and after that I went to a checkpoint to talk to one of the funny little goofy characters on the screen. But when I clicked up the flavor icon to see the text, there was only 3 words. "You are dead." I was crying as loud as my lungs could possibly handle because I was afraid of death, as my uncle was a necrophiliac. I immediately closed my screen and busted in with a soda can that I had nearby. I ran to my mommy and daddy's room and banged on the door, and when I opened it, it was cheese! However, the laptop that I was using, my father's laptop that is, was still on their bed. I knew for sure that this was no ordinary game of Ritz. I reluctantly headed back to the Newgrounds loading screen. However, it didn't say Ritz the Rat anymore. It said Ritz.exe. And I was confused because on Newgrounds, I don't think you can upload EXEs. Usually they're SWF files or something of the sort. But I clicked back on, and after seeing Ritz's bloody face, his bloodied rat face, I could barely contain myself. But I moved on as anyways. After a while, things got easier, and I was able to get each piece of cheese. But the last one was tricky. I had to climb up a certain way so that I wouldn't fall into the spikes. But I did. And when I did, Ritz looked at me straight into the camera with bloody eyes and said, I immediately closed the laptop, but it wouldn't close all the way, and the music began to play over the speakers. I was hyperventilating. I didn't know where to go or what to do. But then something behind me, I heard it. I shit myself.